Hello everyone and welcome to this renal update from the last American Heart Association scientific session held in November of 2022 in Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to present 4 renally significant studies from the many abstracts that were presented. I do not represent the American Heart Association. The first study is the transform heart failure. For the longest time, we always wonder which is the best diuretic. Is it the long-acting torsemide or is it something shorter acting like furosemide for management of chronic heart failure? In this study, we have 2,859 patients who were hospitalized with heart failure. The patients were randomized either to receive furosemide or torsemide. After they left the hospital, they were maintained on oral furosemide or oral torsemide. The primary endpoint, which was death from any cause, was the same in either group, was 26% after 17 months of follow-up, regardless of ejection fraction. The composite rate of all-cause mortality or hospitalization at 12 months was also the same, 49% for the furosemide group and 47% for the torsemide group. Therefore, there is no difference between furosemide or torsemide for the management of patients with chronic heart failure. The next study is related to renal denervation. This is the SPYRAL Hypertension-ON MED pivotal study. The study enrolled an additional 257 patients. So the pilot study had 80 patients and was published in The Lancet and was positive. So they extended the study. They added 257 patients and now we have 337 patients. These patients had on their second screening visit a systolic blood pressure between 140 to 170 using ambulatory blood pressure monitoring. And these patients were on 3 antihypertensive medications. The patients were either randomized to renal denervation or to a sham procedure while maintaining their baseline antihypertensive medications. Now, the study failed to meet the primary endpoint at entry. The median number of medications was about 2 in both arms, and it remained essentially the same after 6 months. If you read the abstract, there's a lot of talk about the statistical analysis and why the study may have failed. Please refer to that if you're interested. The study has not been published yet, to my knowledge. The next study is the BrighHTN study. It involves Baxdrostat, which is an investigational aldosterone synthase inhibitor. This is a phase 2 study involving 248 patients with resistant hypertension. The patient received the study medication for 12 weeks and they either received 2 milligrams, 1 milligram, or 0.5 milligram of Baxdrostat. Blood pressure fell by 20 millimeter of mercury in the 2 milligram group, 17 in the 1 milligram group, and 12 in the 0.5 milligram group. However, blood pressure fell by 9.4 in the placebo group, which is a pretty large fall. The difference, though, was statistically significant only in the 2 milligram group and the 1 milligram group. So this is an interesting agent, and we await further larger trials. The last study I'm going to present is the diuretic comparison project. This study involved 13,500 hypertensive U.S. veterans. All were over 65 years of age, and 97% were male. The study identified patients who were already hypertensive and who were already taking hydrochlorothiazide 25 or 50 milligrams. And then after that, they either kept them on their original hydrochlorothiazide or switched them to the same dose, to an equivalent dose of chlorothalidone. Patients were followed for 2.4 years. And there was no difference in the primary composite outcome of myocardial infarction, stroke, not cancer death, hospitalization for acute heart failure, or urgent vascularization. It happened in about 10% in each group. There was more hypokalemia with chlorothalidone, like you would expect, 6% versus 4.4% for hydrochlorothiazide. In a subgroup analysis, patients with a history of MI or stroke on chlorothalidone had a better outcome, had a significant 27% reduction in the primary endpoint. Patients without a history of MI or stroke appeared to do worse while taking chlorothalidone. I'm going to end here. Thank you for watching.